about laws, I'll ask them, are you fulfilling that law? Of course not. You're falling very short of that law. So don't tell me you have to do this where you are failing as a leader. Your prophet failed those laws. Who? Muhammad and all the other leaders. And the very reason why Muhammad failed, because he's dead. Their book says that. But their book also says about my Messiah, even though the Isa in the Quran is not the Christ of the Holy Bible, totally separate people. We cannot claim something that is not truthful. Our book says that Isa, son of Mary, went up to heaven alive, and he will come back to judge the dead and the living. If I ask a Muslim, who judges? They will say God. Well, you're telling me this prophet will judge. So which is which?
A Christian friend asked me, why didn't Allah save Muhammad ﷺ and he let him die by a painful death? Well, Jesus was saved according to the Quran only. And he
now watch, he's going to lie. He's going to say, Muhammad did not die a painful death. So we're going to put holes in the narrative.
is alive in heaven. Isn't this proof that Jesus was someone more than just a human prophet like the Quran claims? First, let me correct you.
Look at the brother said, doesn't mean the brother said, doesn't mean the brother said, whatever said, okay, let's hear.
That Muhammad ﷺ did not die a painful death. He died a natural death at the age of approximately 63. He completed his mission. Quran says in Surah Ma'idah, chapter number 5, verse number 3, Allah revealed, I have completed my favor unto you and have chosen for you Islam. So that his mission was complete. After his mission was complete, he had a peaceful death. He was aware that he would die. He informed that to his father, to the Sahaba also. And to say that why didn't Allah save him?
Okay, now let's destroy that lie. He said he did not die a painful death. Revisiting the issue of whether Muhammad was certain of his own salvation. Now watch here, let's see. He said he did not die a painful death, but he completed his mission. All right, let's see what the Quran says. You ready? Chapter 46, verses 8 to 9. Or do they say he has forged it? Say, if I have forged it, you have no power to help me against Allah. So it's saying, if Muhammad forged the Quran, then Allah would kill him. But how will he kill him? Now let's watch. He knows very well what you are pressing upon. He suffices as a witness between me and you. He is the all-forgiving, the all-compassionate. Now watch what Muhammad is commanded to say. Now vision Jesus talking this way. I am not an innovation among the messengers, and I know not what shall be done with me or with you. Can you imagine Jesus Christ, our Lord, saying, look, I do not know what the Father will do with me and you. Now remember, they're telling you Muhammad is the greatest man, the perfect man, al-insan al-kamil, and that he is Sayyid al-Mursaleen, the leader of the sent ones, and that all the prophets were led by Muhammad in prayer. So in other words, he usurps even Jesus. And yet their Quran has Muhammad saying, I don't know what Allah will do with me or with you. I only follow what is revealed to me. I'm only a clear warner. Now,
Muslims exalt Muhammad as al-Insan al-Kamil, the perfect man, the leader of the prophets, even the very reason the universe was created. This narrative suggests that he was not only a moral example, but a figure untouched by weakness. Yet the Islamic sources themselves paint a very different picture. The most authentic hadiths record that Muhammad died still suffering from the effects of poison he had eaten years earlier at Khaybar. On his deathbed, he admitted that he felt as though his very aorta was being severed by that poison. This reveals a prophet who had no control over his own destiny, no authority over life and death, and who ultimately succumbed to something as ordinary as poison in food. Here the contradiction is stark. If he was truly the perfect prophet, why is his death described in such tragic, painful, and helpless terms? How could the one proclaimed Masum, the one Muslims call the leader of all messengers, be unsure of his own salvation? The Quran itself records Muhammad saying, I do not know what will be done with me or with you. Surah 46, verse 9. Such a confession sounds less like a perfect guide and more like a man uncertain of his own fate. By contrast, Jesus in the Gospels stands with divine authority. He did not die as a powerless victim of his enemies, but laid down his life willingly. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down and authority to take it up again. And on the third day, he rose from the dead, proving that even death itself is subject to him. The difference could not be clearer. Muhammad died from poison with no assurance of his future, while Jesus died and rose again by his own power. One narrative reflects human limitation, the other reveals true divinity.
Watch the hadiths. Al-Bukhārī, volume 5, book 58, number 266. This is a sound narration, Ṣaḥīḥ, according to Sunni Muslims. Okay, now read with me. Narrated al-Ala, an Ansari woman who gave the pledge of allegiance to the Prophet that the Ansar drew lots concerning the dwelling of the immigrants. Uthman bin Mazun was decided to dwell with them, i.e. al-Ala's family. Now watch, Uthman fell ill and I nursed him till he died. and we covered him with his clothes. Then the Prophet came to us, and I, addressing the dead body, said, "Oh, Abu as-Sayyid, may Allah's mercy be upon you. Now watch, I bear witness that Allah has honored you." Now, she's praying over the man who died, and she goes, "I bear witness Allah has honored you." Now watch what Muhammad said. Look at this. On that, the Prophet said, "How do you know that Allah has honored him?" Did you catch it? How do you know that Allah has honored him? How do you know this? Where'd you get this from? Where did you get that Allah has honored him? Because look what he's going to say. I replied, "I do not know. I don't know that. May my father and my mother be sacrificed for you, O Allah's apostle. But who else is worthy of it, if not Uthman?" Now watch what Muhammad says. He said, "As to him, by Allah, death has ever taken him. And I hope the best for him. By Allah, though I am the apostle of Allah, I do not know what Allah will do to me." Do you catch it? I don't even know what Allah is going to do to me. How do you know this man is blessed? I don't know what happened to him. Wow, can you imagine Jesus saying to Peter, if his mother-in-law died, "Peter, how do you know where your mother-in-law is?" "Well, I don't know, but she was a good woman." "Let me tell you something, Peter. I don't even know what the Father is going to do with me, let alone with your mother-in-law." Here's another one. Narrated Abu Hurairah. al-Bukhārī again, volume 4, book 51, number 16. When Allah revealed the verse, "Warn your nearest kinsman," Allah's apostle got up and said, "O people of Quraysh," or said similar words, "buy yourselves from the hellfire, as I cannot save you from Allah's punishment." Damn, what is this, man? Imagine Jesus saying, "Save yourself from the Father's wrath, because I cannot save you from his wrath." "O Bani Abd Manaf, I cannot save you from Allah's punishment." "O Safiya," his own aunt, the aunt of the apostle, Allah's apostle, "I cannot save you from Allah's punishment." Now, even his own daughter, "O Fatima bint Muhammad, ask me anything for my wealth, but I cannot save you from Allah's punishment." Right? Okay. But now what about his painful death? You want to see how painful his death was and why it shows that Muhammad is a false prophet? The Quran says if Muhammad is a liar and he made up the Quran, that Allah would grab him by his right hand and cut off his life vein and he would die a horrendous death. Now watch, chapter 10, verse 15 of the Quran. Watch the humiliation for Muslims. "And when our signs are recited to them, clear signs, those who look not to encounter us say, 'Bring a Quran other than this, or alter it.' Say, 'It is not for me to alter it of my own accord. I follow nothing except what is revealed to me. Truly, I fear if I should rebel against my Lord, the chastisement of a dreadful day.'" If I mess with the Quran, Allah's going to mess with me. Now watch this. This is the humiliation. Chapter 69, verses 40 and 46. You can include also verse 47. "It is the speech of a noble messenger. It is not the speech of a poet. Little do you believe. Nor the speech of a soothsayer. Little do you remember. And sending down from the Lord of all being." Now watch the warning. "Had he, Muhammad, invented against us sayings, we would have seized him by the right hand, and then we'd have surely have cut his life vein, his aorta, his life vein." Now watch how Muhammad died according to the Muslim tradition. The history of al-Tabari, the victor of Islam, volume 7, page 124. Remember what it said? If Muhammad is a liar, then his life vein would be cut off, right? The messenger of God said during the illness from which he died, the mother Bishr had come in to visit him. The mother Bishr was someone who got poisoned by a Jewish woman. Let me show you how embarrassing Islam is. And we're going to read the report. A Jewish woman whose family had been killed by Muhammad cooked lamb for Muhammad, and she knows that Muhammad likes to eat the shoulder of a lamb. Unbeknownst to Muhammad, she poisoned it. One of Muhammad's companions, Bishr, ate it, and he saw there was something off and suspected it was poison, but he didn't spit it out because Muhammad ate it, didn't spit it out. Bishr died, and Muhammad spit it out, but too late because the poison entered his body and slowly started killing him. So now the mother comes to him. The mother Bishr had come in to visit him. Bishr, at this very moment, I feel my aorta being severed because of the food I ate with your son at Khaybar. But wait, didn't Zakir Naik say Muhammad didn't die a painful death? But doesn't Zakir Naik's authentic sources say Muhammad died a painful death and he died the death of an accursed antichrist false prophet? Because the Quran says if he's cursed, then his aorta, his life vein would be cut off. You caught it?
Zakir Naik, in his lectures, insists that Muhammad did not die a painful death. According to him, the Prophet passed away peacefully, untouched by any lingering effect of poison. This claim, however, is a clear piece of modern apologetics designed to erase any impression of weakness or divine judgment in Muhammad's death. Yet when we turn back to the classical Islamic sources, we find the exact opposite. Ṣaḥīḥ al-Bukhārī, hadith number 4428, records that near the end of his life, Muhammad himself said, "I still feel the pain caused by the food I ate at Khaybar, and now it is as though my aorta is being severed because of that poison." This was not an accusation from outsiders. It was Muhammad's own confession. Bukhari is regarded as the most authentic collection of hadith in Sunni Islam, second only to the Quran in authority. Musnad Aḥmad also contains a similar narration, confirming that the poison of Khaybar remained with Muhammad until his death. Al-Tabari, in Tarikh al-Rusul wa al-Muluk, likewise reports that Muhammad said to Bishr, "O Bishr, I feel my aorta being severed because of the food I ate with your son at Khaybar." With such evidence, Zakir Naik's claim that Muhammad did not die in suffering is not merely mistaken, it is academically dishonest. He ignores the most authoritative Islamic reports, while the consensus of classical scholars accepted that Muhammad did, in fact, die carrying the effects of that poison. To soften this tension, some scholars tried to frame his death as a form of martyrdom rather than an ordinary passing. The critique is sharp. If Muhammad is truly al-Insan al-Kamil, the perfect man untouched by weakness, why did he himself admit that poison was taking his life? Why did he have no power over his own fate, and even confess that he did not know what would become of him, exactly as the Quran itself declares in Surah 46, verse 9? The facts from Islam's own sources expose the falsehood of Zakir Naik's narrative and reveal the wide gap between modern apologetics and the original historical record.